Hey guys, what's up? It's iFlynn here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Pyrana Prime, the secondary weapon that came with the Limbo Prime access. This weapon is really good for a multitude of different reasons. The number one reason being you can actually conjure a second one in your other hand after you get free kills in quick succession. The second reason being the fact that you can get some pretty good ribbons for it because you have a disposition of 4, and then the third reason being it's mainly slash damage, so you can get off some really awesome slash procs that will help out with your damage, help out with your DPS. In today's video, we're going to be testing versus level 110 heavy gunners. The reason they're level 110 and not any higher is because I like testing versus enemies that you're going to find in like your daily content of Warframe. So those are the highest level enemies that you're going to come across in something like a sortie, for example. But other than that, let's just kind of jump right into the stats of the Pyrana Prime. Now, it's a weapon that can be modded for either crit or status, and the stats will kind of tell that to you, so you can mod for either. But we have an accuracy stat of 6.1, a critical chance of 24%, a crit multiplier of 2.2, a range fall off of 18 meters to 36 meters, a fire rate of 4, magazine size of 12, which doubles to 24 whenever you get the passive, a noise of alarming, reload speed of 1.6, a status chance of 12%, and you have the full auto trigger. So basically that just means if you hold it down, that's the Tigris. If you hold it down, it's full auto, right? So you don't have to click every single shot. Going back into the stats, we have our damage stats, which 19.2 puncture, 19.2 in impact, and then we have 201.6 in slash. So you add all of those together for the weapon's total damage. So with all that being said, I would mod for a crit build on it. So the mod for that build, you'd throw in your 3 main damage mods, which are Barrel Fusion, Hornet Strike, and then also Lethal Torrent, which is also going to increase our fire rate, which, keep in mind, is going to be doubled when we get our second Pyrana in our hand. Then I would throw on my primed crit mods. You can use the regular versions if you don't have the prime versions, and then we'd throw on our elemental combos. So in this video, we're going to be using corrosive damage because it's going to give us 75% extra damage versus those level 110 heavy gunners that we're going to be testing against, and that leaves us with one more slot. I like to run hydraulic crosshairs because I don't have a Riven. If you had a Riven, you would throw a Riven on this slot, and if you don't have either of those, you would simply move Pathogen rounds over into this slot and then run a third element, for example, like Heated Charge, and that's going to get you even more damage. But because we have hydraulic crosshairs, I'm going to be testing it with hydraulic crosshairs, so it's pretty awesome. So, like I said, there's different ways to build this weapon, which I'll be going over and kind of explaining when to use them, but this is the type of build that I would use if I was just doing like sortie level content or something, right? So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and spawn in our heavy gunners. Let's just go ahead and spawn in 20 of them. I'm going to have the AI paused, and I'm going to make myself invincible. Pausing the AI doesn't give you a damage increase when you're using a gun. It only gives you that damage increase when you're using a melee weapon. That's a common misconception. So yeah, we're not getting any bonus damage from the AI actually being frozen. So let's go ahead and simulate the guys and then go over to them and get some headshots and then kind of, take a look at the damage. Now this is gonna be pretty insane. You do want to be aiming for those headshots because you're gonna get an 8 times damage multiplier. A little bit of a stutter there, but check this out. Look how fast they died, dude. Like, this weapon is slowly becoming one of my favorite weapons. Now, I'm not able to show you guys the passive that the weapon has because, like, these guys take a little while to kill. But if we were to go ahead and spawn in some infested enemies, like level 110, just fleshy infested, we'll be able to show that passive off. So let's just go ahead and get some chargers in here. Like so. Oops, it says 0 remaining. Whoops. Whoopsie daisies. Like, here we go. Cool. Simulate. So that way we have our heavy gunners over there and we have our infested over here. So we're going to get free kills. And there you go. We have our fire rate up. Now let's go ahead and test. You see how insanely quick these guys die? Because of that little fire rate bonus there. And the fact that we had a second Pyrana. It's pretty insane. So you just get those free kills in a row. Like so, and then you have the passive, 24 in the magazine capacity, and then you have the increased fire rate as well because you have the second one, and you can just murder these guys insanely fast. Now, if you're going for a Riven for this weapon, I would recommend getting something along the lines of like damage and a multi-shot, and then your third stack can be something that you want to mod towards. So let's say you want more status chance, you can get that. You want more crit damage, you can get that. Personally, I would go for the crit damage. Some people might like to go for the critical chance. Some people like to go for another element, for example. It's really down to you. And then whenever it comes to negatives, I would be going for something like minus zoom because, that's a really decent negative to have. Not too sure if you can roll minus damage to infested in secondaries. I don't think I've ever seen it. But if you can get that, that would also be a good negative roll to have. Now, having negatives means that your positive stats is going to be higher. So that's something to keep in mind whenever it comes to it. But, like I mentioned beforehand, that isn't the only build that I would run, right? If you're going deep into endgame or the enemies didn't have any armor or something, you may want to consider running like a status build with like a crit hybrid on it and using viral damage, right? If the enemies have no armor. So this would be the build that I would use if the enemies had absolutely no armor. You're going a super long ass time into a survival or a defense and the enemy level is going up like way past 200 or something. This would be the build that I would use because you have to keep in mind that viral and slash is actually going to reduce the enemy's health through their armor, right? So if they do happen to have armor, this is going to help out if maybe you don't have the 90% fully maxed out because you're lacking an endo or something. So this is just kind of a build that doesn't take as much forma and you still get some pretty awesome effects from it. And then keep in mind, if you also have a Riven that ups your status chance, this is going to be even more insane. So let's just go ahead and take a look. Spawn in those heavy gunners again. Get rid of the chargers. Select all. Okay. Simulate. Now, these guys aren't going to die as fast, but you're going to notice that we shoot a lot less shots to kind of take out a big chunk of health here. So check it out. Okay. Now just watch this health kind of deplete. It's going to come back because the viral proc may run out. Okay, we got lucky there. Sometimes whenever the viral proc runs out, the enemy's health will go back up because the enemy's health is no longer being reduced by that viral proc, right? So it's like they're sick for a certain period of time and then they become healthy again. That's kind of how I think of viral procs. But if you get those slash procs and those viral procs going off of one another, like the damage is absolutely insane. So that was a lot better because we were hitting more bullets on the head. We were getting more damage off. So the closer you are to them, the more headshots you're going to get off, and then the more damage you're going to get. So it's kind of like a shotgun as well at the same time, but it's a shotgun that has a super awesome kick to it. So yeah, you kind of just melt away their health. So this build requires a lot less forma and a lot less endo to kind of max out because your what's it called? Your Jill Stat Elemental mods are a lot easier than max if you have them. But, like, those mods are a lot harder to obtain as well. So, you can see that whenever you're shooting, like, if you're just shooting body shots, or maybe you're hitting the shoulder a little bit, like, you're not doing as much damage because of the headshots. Like, it's super essential to be landing those headshots because it's just going to let you deal more damage overall. So, it might be better running the crit build if you're more of a body shot type of person, if you're not that accurate, because you can see we only did, like, 51 damage, which is kind of duty. But that's because the enemy has all that armor, and you're not reducing that with the corrosive procs because you're running viral. So your damage is gonna stay at like a stagnant rate. I almost had like a little hiccup / choke thing there. That was kind of weird, but that is basically it. And if you really want to, like, you don't have to run viral. You can go ahead and you can run what's it called? You can run corrosive on your Dual Stat Elementals as well. So we come over here. We go to my Pyrana Prime. The third build that I have, Pistol Pestilence plus Jolt, which is going to make your corrosive. Basically the same builds. So you have Hornet Strike, Barley Fusion, Lethal Torrent, your crit mods, and then instead of the 90%, you have the 60% status. Same on this build. It's basically the same build, except we change out Jolt for Frostbite, right? So, take a look at how this works. So if we go ahead and kill these guys, and then we simulate. Whoop. There we go. Shit this guy in the head. His armor gets stripped away omega fast. So it's really down to you what you want to run. For general content and one-shotting, I would run the first builds. For this, if the enemies have armor and you want to get that armor stripped away so your damage kind of scales up as you shoot, then I would definitely run the build that I'm running right now. So this is my config C. So yeah, you deal some insane damage. But like I said beforehand, if you're going into a mission where you have 4 times corrosive projection and you're stripping away the enemy's armor, just go ahead and run Ash so we can strip away their armor real fast. Get my right appearance on because that's important. There we go. Cool. color it up. And also the Sky Ajati, because I don't want mismatching colors. You would run this build, the config C. And this is going to make it so that you kill them omega fast, right? Because they're not going to have that the damage reduction from their armor, because you're going to strip it away, and they're going to die insanely quickly. So if the enemy has no armor, it's always going to be better than run viral, because the viral is going to reduce their maximum HP, and because you don't have that damage mitigation in the enemy's armor, because the armor is completely gone, like your damage is basically just going to be what it's supposed to be, right? It's not going to be reduced in any way, shape, or form, which is awesome. So the Pyrana Prime is awesome, like I mentioned beforehand. If you get a Riven for it, go for damage, go for multi-shot, and then have a stat of your choice. You can cater it more towards crit damage, which is what I would recommend. You can cater it towards more status chance. You can have another element if you like. So you can run, like, you know, some weird, obscure elemental combo. Maybe you want to run radiation for whatever reason because you want to take down bombards. You can definitely 110% do that. I would go ahead and run this type build here. Let's just go ahead and spawn in some bombards. See, here we go. Corrupted bombards, select all, simulate. Whoop, get my energy. Where are they at? Over this way? Okay, here we go. So you just shoot them in the face, and they die omega fast as well. And, yeah, rest in peace the guys, dude. They are dead. Bombards are kill, and that's because they have alloy armor. So the difference between heavy gunner armor, it's ferrite, and then bombard armor is alloy. So ferrite is weak to corrosive, alloy is weak to radiation. So it just depends which enemies you kind of have more trouble with whenever you're playing like Grenier or corrupted content, right? I usually teach players to sort of build towards the most difficult content in the game. So in this case, it was your, what's it called? Your corrupted enemies, because they're super diverse. They have a lot of armor, stuff like that. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Whenever it comes to the Pyrana Prime, it's a super awesome weapon. I recommend picking it up and just get it. Get it and get a Riven for it. If you have a Riven for it, hold on to it, roll it, try to get some good stats on there, sell it for a super high price if you don't like the Pyrana. And other than that, it's really up to you. It's a cool shotgun crit status hybrid that I recommend. Pick it up, don't pick it up, it's up to you. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and hit that like button below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Warframe content. And also, you guys might want to go ahead and check out Crusader. He's got a build with a Riven on it, which is viral, which shredded enemies. So I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description below. Go check it out. And thank you guys for watching.